And welcome back to Gaggy Long-Winded. You'll see I'm not in my usual attire. Um, I was feeling the need to speak, and I have to get it out, and I have to get it out right now. So sometimes there's no time to change into a perfectly curated vintage outfit. Sometimes you just gotta wear your own merch. Please visit my profile for the link in my bio for merch at Dear Media. Shameless. Don't worry, you guys, it's not bringing me that much money, but I guess we can start here. Big news, I got my first paycheck. Big news, long-winders. Got our first paycheck, and I have no one to thank but the patrons. I have no one to thank but the vast demographic of the gays and the girlies that tune in every week. We're building a community. We're building a corporation that will take over the world, and you will never hear me again, and I will definitely leave you all behind. I'm one step away from an oligarch giving me a deal, an opportunity that I cannot refuse. We're talking $100K a week. No, I can't say no to that for you. I know it's close. I know it's just around the corner, but until then, you will catch me here talking about absolutely nothing every week. Welcome. This is your weekly dose of education. I know I come here, you might not know if you're being educated or not. It's more subliminal than you think. I was looking up subliminal messaging the other day on Google because what happened to that? So I'm trying to tap in and put that in the podcast also. So if you start acting funny, buying all my merch compulsively, that's definitely not why. I forget where. Oh, it's you know what? Yes, this is educational, I'd say. I'd say if I want to climb the ranks of the podcasting charts, I think I might have to rebrand and call this podcast educational. Right now it's called relationships. I don't know how often I really talk about those either. It should be under the category of misandrists. I don't know if that would fly with Apple and Spotify. Let me know. I could be the only one in the category. I number one every time, hitting the charts, us long-winded. Maybe one day. I got my first paycheck. It was surprising in many ways, in both that I thought it was going to be lower and higher than expected. It was higher in that I read the breakdown completely wrong. I have no idea how to decipher and interpret spreadsheets that are looking at me square in the face. Where are these numbers coming from? I will find out when it gets deposited in my bank account and then go from there. Other than that, the breakdown is none of my business. If I feel something in my intuition that something's off, then I will follow it and I will approach the powers that be. Hey, this feels funny to me. Because it sounds like a joke, but actually our intuition is always right. You feel like you're wildly underpaid and devalued because you are, and we must speak up. Not what I'm saying. Higher than expected, lower than I expected, because overall I thought the industry was going to be more lucrative. There, I'll say it. I can do a full income transparency if you guys want that, not because I'll never know. Because I can't read the comments, because I don't, my favorite feedback is in my DMs. I love your pod. I need it more than once a week. It's helped me come out in my sexuality. And to that, I love, and I have a piece for you today to really, really make you seen, feel, and heard in the relatability of your anus aspect. We'll get there. I'm just kidding. I would tell you guys. I feel like I've told you before, if you really want to know. Now would be a great way to segue into it, but it is very scary. And Might I remind you that I was an ICU nurse. I have to do this every fucking time because somehow people still miss it for 8 years, paycheck to paycheck. Okay. You guys, if this is something you want, just DM me, okay? I will do it. Don't worry. So there's that. What else? I did get this DM that I liked. Gabby, I'm a Capricorn and I'm a top. So I guess my sun sign isn't the sole reason that I refuse to participate in the bedroom. Just kidding. I like to receive. I've always been like that. I'm not much of a giver. I like to enjoy. I like to relax. Maybe this is why I'm a pillow princess, but of course, this person crushed my dreams. Also, I understand the metaphorical language of top and bottom, but in lesbianism, it just does not track. We're side by side. Nobody's on top doing a little of this under the covers. Just like that. Ooh, right there. No, a little to the right. Okay, side to side. Faster. My ganglion sister's back. There's no top or bottom in that. But I get it. I know metaphorically they're the ones who really get a lot of pleasure from the action. So, but it's like, actually, Robbie's never been on top. Even when we have the strap, I like to be on top. I know what I like. I know just how to get myself off, which is a combination of, you guys know, a very realistic, we keep trying strap-ons, and they're measuring differently. There's just no way to know. Robbie just got another one. I was like, baby, we got to stop. We have got to stop unless we have a very reputable resource that we know, maybe one of you, that can help our situation. But until then, it's not getting any better and we're just wasting money. I'm like, can we sell these? Can we return them? They're brand new. You freak-a-leaks, if you want one, let me know. So the house hunt continues. As you guys know, I went to look at a house that was initially listed for $10,000 a month. It has since dropped significantly and wasn't dilapidated, but was dilapa. It wasn't dilapidated, but it was a dilapidate. The agent was really nice. He had a nice British accent, but it wasn't working on me. And then they ask for feedback. Robbie is really being honest with them these days. You guys, you know how she does. She's really the voice of the people. She's fighting our fights for us. She will give them feedback. Very, very, very serious, stringent, not quite, I don't know what that means really, feedback. The lighting was terrible. The materials were awful. And there was wallpaper on the fridge for some reason. And dead plants everywhere. Please clear out the dead plants. Nobody wants your dead plants. And nobody's watering them. Go. You'll understand my next tangent in 1 second. Go, Nardo. Go. Okay, fine, I'll get into it. Dog moms. I've been working up to this. You guys know how I feel about it in my heart. This should come as no surprise to you. Nope. Nobody's going to like it. Yes, I'm using my platform irresponsibly. Yes, I've changed. I'm not the girl you met on TV. You used to love your grandfather. What does Grandpa Joe think about all this? Well, Grandpa Joe thinks absolutely jack shit because his name is Grandpa John. And Grandpa John does not give one fuck about anything besides bridge and bowling. He bowled over a 200 last week. He could be 85. He's definitely not concerned with the truth that I so honestly and vulnerably give to you every week. Grandpa Joe, if you love him so much, why don't you throw an HN on there? If you love him so much, why don't you drop the O, add the on? I love him so much, so I call him by his correct name. And I call him monthly. We talk for 5 minutes, maybe more than that. Okay, so here I go, dog moms. Let me tell you, Reddit doesn't like them, and I don't either. Because you guys know I go to Reddit for all of my source of information. Sometimes it does get overwhelming, and I'm like, okay, these are the incels that everyone talks about. Other times, what they say is gospel. Dog moms are mental illness. They said it, not me. It was a thread. As a mentally ill person, I can find the funny in it. Dog moms are mental illness. Dog moms are mental illness. Dog moms are mental illness. How do you treat this mental illness? A helping of Lexapro? A dose of neurofeedback? Maybe a big scoop of reality. You're not a mother. You're not a mother. No, we're pet owners. We're pet owners and their animals, barely domesticated. A very close relative to the wolf. Scary as fuck. Wants to eat your chihuahua, your baby, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's the animal kingdom. Okay? It's okay to have a healthy boundary. It's okay to not think of your pet as your own spawn. No, because he's not related to me. Because he's too desperate, just like me. Because he smells, you guys know I smell like a daisy flower every second. And he cannot take direction. I take direction extremely well. I show up to a job, let me know your expectations, explicitly tell me what to do, I will execute. The dog, not so much. No, we don't have to pretend. No, what are we pretending for? Oh, I'm getting by day to day. I'm feeding him twice a day with bone broth. Hello. Just because I don't connect to him emotionally because we're not staring into each other's eyes because he has those shifty eyes and his eyebrows are all over the place. It doesn't mean that I'm not an adequate fit for a mother. He gets fed twice a day. He gets bone broth. He gets numerous walks. We all got to get outside. He sleeps in the bed with me. He's never able to be trained. No, I actually don't think he's the cutest dog to ever live. No, I think if he was 2/3 of the size and a darker color and more of a mustache, then maybe he'd be close. And don't even. This is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt when I say this. You have to grip your steering wheel. You might have to pull over, press the brakes. No, the store-bought is cuter than the adopted. I'm sorry. Your short hair, mixed breed, sausage thing is not passing. Everybody's lying to your face. Of course they have a great personality, or do they? You know, if they're left on the streets too long, then they're going to be food aggressive. They're not going to be socialized. Who knows what they're doing when you're not looking? I'm sorry, somebody's got to tell you, I know, not you. Not you. You feel differently. You actually have a cute one. Okay, fine. Whatever makes you sleep at night. No, you're not a mother because you can leave a dog at home. You cannot leave your baby at home, unfortunately. Much to my dismay. Why can't you run out, Get your nails done, stock up the fridge while the baby's at home. It's going to sleep, probably. It takes like 3-hour naps a day. It doesn't move, really. As you guys know, the evergreen season of wedding season is among us forever and always. And that's okay because honestly, we love love. And with Birdie Gray, we don't have to worry about breaking the bank for any kind of wedding occasion. They have the most stylish, affordable dresses that are perfect for any vibe. Birdie Gray believes that being in a wedding should look great without breaking the bank. That's why all of their bridesmaid dresses start at $99, music to our ears, and each one is stunning. They come in so many colors and styles, from a black tie wedding to a garden party style. Birdie Gray isn't just about bridesmaids' dresses, and have a gorgy collection of budget-friendly little white dresses, all under $150. Perfect for bridal events, from engagement photos to the bachelorette and even the wedding after party. They also have those cutie PJs for all the girls, perfect for the bridal suite, bachelorette party, or just lounging around in style. Best of all, Birdie Gray offers free fabric color swatches to nail the perfect bridesmaid dress look for everyone. And for limited time only, the first 6 swatches are free. Visit www.birdiegray.com now to get your first 6 swatches for free. Available for a limited time until December 3rd. That's BIRDYGREY.com. Find the bridesmaid dresses perfect for you. Robbie and I may be hosting our first Thanksgiving this year. Naturally, I'll be doing all of the cooking and she will be doing all of the watching. We could not be more excited though, because I love to host like once a year, and I really love to cook, especially with Caraway. Caraway cookware is perfect for cooking for a large amount of people because they have good sized pots and pans. They're not too big and they're not too small, just like Goldilocks. And they fit nicely in our cabinet and even come with a magnetic rack for the lids. Caraway also brings us peace of mind with their non-toxic cookware that's free of dangerous chemicals during the holidays this year. There's so much cleanup after cooking a big meal like Thanksgiving, and that's always the worst part for me, unless I'm dying for a break from my family, if you know what I mean. But Caraway makes it easy because they're made with ceramic, which makes for a naturally slick surface, making it easy to clean. The mess basically just slides right off the pan, and we are truly grateful for that. Caraway cookware set also comes with the saute pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan, and lids for all of them, with the aforementioned magnetic pan rack, which is worth its weight in gold. Plus, the colors are so cute and neutral and honestly just look really clean in the kitchen. No one can ever just buy one pan without going back for the whole set. Ditch the chemicals with Caraway. The holidays are closer than ever, so get their gift or yours in time. Visit carawayhome.com/GabbyWindy to take advantage of this limited time offer for up to 20% off your next purchase. Again, that's carawayhome.com/GabbyWindy to get new kitchenware before the holidays. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern. No, but you can't. No, but you can't. You can't even leave it in the car when you go to Target. This will take me 10 minutes flat. I know exactly where the CeraVe is and the travel size shampoo and conditioner. I'm begging you, baby Maggie, just hold on until then. It's too much getting you in and out of this car seat. There's too many appendages. There's too many straps that I need to buckle in. And then I had to get you into the car seat without somehow decapitating you. Please sit here. 7 minutes. Time me. That's baby babble. And it's like, it's okay for me to admit that I don't have a severe, strong connection with my dog. He'll be 8 and 11 months. You do the math. You extrapolate where this pea brain is going. It's going to be okay. But and I'm not, and you know what? There's no judgment. I'm not judging. I'm just here to speculate. What if you don't have a connection with your own baby? Oof. Of course you do. Of course you do. I'm just speculating for sake of conversation. Of course. But what if you don't? Then what's it like at those preschool PTA meetings? Are you projecting onto poor little Billy? No, he's actually pretty cute, and he seems to be a baby genius, a savant of some sort. It's a high IQ. He is killing the finger paint. Maggie's not the same. It's a risk you take with having kids. I mean, you got to look at the Y chromosome also. It's like, what are you working with? Where is the bar? I don't know how that's going to work out for you just based off the donor. I'm wishing you well. I want the best for everyone. Do not get my words wrong. You're projecting at preschool. You're spreading rumors in the cul-de-sac. No, you can't. Nobody's going to believe this false narrative about baby Billy. Just back off and figure out what you're working with. Maybe she'll come around at 5, maybe 6. Maybe 10. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. And it's like sometimes when I see a baby in a stroller, I'll flip it and reverse it. Can I pet your baby? Who's your baby? You want to scratch under the chin? Let's get that ligamentless leg going. Shake it for me. Oh. What is it a boy or a girl? Oh my God. Wow. So much energy sleeping in this crib on wheels. Wow, so much personality already. Cross-eyed. I don't know if we're all the same, if we're all mothers. And it's like I will go out on a limb and say dog moms, what's the word I'm looking for? Got it, 1 second. Dog moms are the product of the patriarchy. Yeah, I went there. Yes, yeah, I said it. It is the truth. Just because I'm a woman doused in femininity, then I have to be maternal. I have to be nurturing. I must be a mother of some sort. No, I don't want to be. No, every time my egg goes to waste once a month, I have a celebration. Another one bites the dust out of my pussy. Egg white onto the thong. Bye-bye. Full potential and what we'll never know. That got dark. And that's okay. Bye, little baby egg. I'll be doing it until I run out. And then you'll be getting a different side of me. I was thinking today, I was like, when do I feel the most inspired? When do I feel like I can be the most creative? And then I'm like in between med adjustments. Truly, that's what gets me going. I discover a new part of my personality while fucking around with meds. And you know what? This is foreshadowing. I feel like I need a change. I feel like I need a different kind of neurotransmitter in lieu of this one to really see where my mind goes. This also got me thinking about children, rearing, all of that stuff. You know, we used to raise our babies in communities, and I think then it's okay. It's okay if you got a lemon. They'll have like 5 or 6 other moms. In comes the wet nurse. You know what a wet nurse is? Yes, I take every opportunity I can get to bring up the wet nurse. Did you see me just tee up myself and knock it out of the park, me, myself, and I, because there's no one else to bounce things off of here, so I do need to do that. If you want it done right, do it yourself, the wet nurse. Contrary to what I just said. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. Okay, what is the wet nurse? It's truly a scientific physiologic phenomenon. It is how incredibly amazing and miraculous a woman's body can be. A man's is a vessel. It's a tool. It's one step up from the caveman. You guys know this. They're prehistoric. Troglodytes. Coming from the troglodyte. Okay, so when you're in this community, if you think hard enough that you need to feed a baby, you can start to lactate. With the right medication, I might put this to work. I might really try, just because, and that's always what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't really, it's like, I want to be pregnant because I want to experience it, but I just don't want to raise the kid. I want to experience the hormones, but also I think it would be really bad for me because of my risk of, what is it? The depression. I'm thinking of PMDD, postpartum. Postpartum depression would be so severely high. And they tell you to like go off all your antipsychotics in order to like have a baby. And I wouldn't be able to do it. And I actually wouldn't. And I'd probably have a margarita a day. I'll say it. I need to take the edge off. I'll say it. You guys, do what you will. It's obviously a joke, but the Europeans do it. So I don't know. So the wet nurse, so you're in this community. Someone's there to take off the load of nursing your baby. Hey, you need me to tap in for a second? Let me feed the baby. Oh, you look a little engorged. And I know you hit the bottle hard last night, so why don't you dump that and I can pump it? Just as a second mom, just as your wet nurse. I'll find any excuse to bring up a wet nurse. Oh, you got a nanny? Oh, do they wet nurse? It's nice to tag team it. It's nice. For breakfast, they can, feed on you. For lunch, how about me? For dinner, I don't know. I think Laura's out there. I think she's free. And it might be good to get different nutrients from different people, because I'm sure you're like kind of processing, making up some kind of genetics to feed the baby. No, I'm not recommending this. This is a fake scenario. This is a what if. Who knows what happened back in those times? But actually, it seems like it's a little more alluring to have babies back then. Anyways, no, dog moms, I do not think you're mentally ill. I think it was another trend for Instagram. What do we do? We're all victims to it. We're all victims to capitalism. And honestly, my dog's only saving grace is that I shopped him. I'll say it, because he's cute. But one day, mark my words, I will need the validation, and I will get desperate enough to where I'm going to adopt a ton of dogs and gang you all back and get in the goodwill and get and positively change my public image for the better in like 30 years. So when that comes around, and don't even, because I am a dog lover. Because I know dog haters are sociopathic. Please, I am not Michael Vick. I'm integrated, well-to-do in this society. I literally scratch Nardo's belly. Like, fuck. Okay, enough of that. I do want to touch briefly on what is going on with the Menendez brothers, just because I've thought about it a lot. Okay, you guys, first you got to watch the documentary, the dramatized documentary, whatever the fuck it was. The Monsters, terrible, exploitive. That Ryan Murphy is a sick creepo pervert. And he has that reputation with all the docus that he does. I guess he just always makes these young boys gay. Like there was like an incestuous relationship between the brothers, which is truly exploitive given what they've been through. In case you don't know, in case you've been living under a rock, in case your algorithm is just TikTok dances. No, we're not living in 2013 anymore. Actually, was there TikTok even around then? I don't know. Get your head out of your ass. It's time to pay attention. Hopefully by next week, this is going to come out in a couple weeks. I'm pre-recording. They will maybe be released from prison. I think LA County wants to resentence them, and their sentencing has been changed to that they are like now eligible for parole, which before they were sentenced to life without parole. They killed their parents. Daylight savings time hit, something absolutely no one has been talking about, and now our days are shorter, but our to-do lists aren't. Can anyone catch a break around here? Actually, we can with Green Chef. Bless. Green Chef can make your busy weeks easier with home delivery of step-by-step recipes and quality whole foods, including fresh produce in every box. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well, so you can feel good about crafting good-for-you meals with limited processed ingredients. It honestly helps you save so much time and thought, the hardest part for me, by including the exact measurements and ingredients, not to mention they are pre-cut and the sauces are pre-made. We love to see it, truly. They even have options for every lifestyle, from Mediterranean meals to customizable plant-based options and certified gluten-free recipes. Green Chef even has a clean, feel-good Thanksgiving with all the fixings for a traditional Thanksgiving, including an organic free-range turkey, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, and apple crumble. Robbie and I love to cook and try to eat healthy as much as we can, especially now that Robbie's on this new gym kick, and she's really focused on her proteins. She just learned how to count proteins yesterday, and it's consuming our life. She also loves to have greens, and Green Chef helps us stick to the plan and nutrition goals easily. Go to greenchef.com/Gabby50 and use code Gabby50 for 50% off your first box, plus 20% off your next 2 months. That's code Gabby50 at greenchef.com/Gabby50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next 2 months. You know, and if these parents aren't a reason to be killed, then what is? They were disgustingly abusive. The dad, the mom just sat around and watched, guilty by association, sorry. I mean, disgustingly. The prosecution couldn't find one character witness for the dad. What the fuck? He was a big producer in Hollywood and not one person liked him, not even his family. I don't know if you can use a character witness for the family. They couldn't find, red flag. The sister went on the stand and was like describing all these torture tactics that the dad would use on the kids. He would make them, or made one of them, hang from monkey bars when they were like 2 until he started crying, and then would make them hang some more. This is like a war tactic. This is so sick to even think of. This guy was truly demented, diabolical. This is just one account that we heard of, and he did this in front of somebody else, his sister. The audacity, who knew what he was doing in private? He severely sexually abused, molested both of them, the younger one for longer, until he was like 18 or 20, told him he couldn't leave, told him he couldn't go to college, fully Stockholm syndrome, just like crazy manipulation and abuse. Like disgusting. Which I think the public opinion was all fucked up at first because maybe they didn't have all the details. And this was like the same judge as the Rodney King case where he acquitted the police officers. So clearly this guy like just has no moral compass as a judge. I would have preferred Judge Judy to try this case because she has no wrong opinions, no wrong takes, and she does what's just and what's right. Why are you worried what the public thinks about you as a judge? Because some kind of a money thing, I'm sure. He's getting kickbacks from someone who's telling him what to do and funding his life. Sick and disgusting. Ugh. So they're victims. The prosecutor is also demented. She like closed out the documentary with like, I have guns in here. My house is full of guns. It's like, okay, crazy. Nobody asked. Okay, fine. She probably just has spent her life in a serious stage of guilt because she said the most awful things, like discounting their abuse. She was like, men can't be raped. I'm like, as a certified, registered, identifiable misandrist, I know that men can be raped, especially children. It's like so sad. This was a time also when we just like didn't believe that men could be victims, which is awful. Like we act, it's terrible. We do need them to like lean into their emotional, but the Menendez brothers case was tried twice. The first time was a mistrial because the jury was split half and half, and unanimously, I think the men found the brothers, that they murdered them with malintent, I guess. And the women had more compassion for the abuse and, claimed it was in self-defense. It just shows you literally how emotionally intelligent women are. And then the second trial, O.J. Simpson was just going to trial. He had just been caught on the tail of the second trial, and the judge threw out all of the evidence of the abuse. What the fuck? That's the whole story. These brothers are not stone cold killers. They're not a threat to anybody else. People were like, they did it for the money. It's like, no, they already had a ton of money. They were getting money from the parents that they wouldn't let him leave. They've like, I'm sure had trusts and stuff. I don't know. It's just really sad. And I mean, they've already done like 15 years, which I think is like, enough for manslaughter. And they've like gone to therapy, like they've worked a lot on themselves, but it's like no matter what, the shit that they have to endure just by being this abused as a kid and now like, going into the real world, it's so sad. So I cannot tolerate any other takes because I was getting like concerning DMs like, oh, aren't they creepy? And it's like, no. And that came from because the older brother was molested, by the dad and abused people. He looked up to the dad. He thought it was okay. I'm sure he thought that's just like what he was supposed to do. So when he was really young, like 8 or 10, and this was devastating even to talk about it. He had to talk about it on the stand about how he like one time asked his brother to come into the woods with him and ended up like touching him inappropriately, and he was like sobbing. Both the brothers were sobbing. It's like think about how impressionable kids are. Like we literally believe in the fucking tooth fairy and Santa Claus because we're indoctrinated from such a young age without even having seen them truly. Like And then this is all this kid knows. So I'm sure he thought it was a way to like bond with his dad, which is just so sad and devastating, and explains how you kind of like, I think, like fall in love with your abuser in some way. I don't know. It's just so sad. So yeah, that's it with that. Okay, let's segue. This is something that I have been wanting to talk about for a while. I didn't know how or when I was going to say it. It was really a moment in time when my asshole flipped inside out. Um, when my butt fell out of my butt, pink socketed, just like escaped. It didn't cinch off properly. It didn't do its job. It knows one thing to pinch when it's supposed to, and it failed. My body failed me. Not of any fault of its own. We have to be nice to our body. It is a temple. I appreciate how far it's gotten me. You know, I'm on Lamictal. It makes me constipated. That's like really kind of the only side effect. But it's like I've gotten used to it. I'm trying to drink a lot of water, just be healthy. I am back on the gabapentin, which kind of helps. I scheduled it. It does better. Who knows how long it's going to last, because I feel like sometimes when it wears off, it makes me brain dead. So I don't fucking know. Anyways, I was constipated. I was in there for a while. They tell you not to push. Don't push, okay? Okay, don't. Just relax. How long am I supposed to fucking relax where both of my legs are numb? I'm actively losing blood flow. They could be necrotic at any point. I may have to have a hemicorpectomy and end up in a bucket. That is a real thing. When people get into a traumatic accident and then whatever they have to sit in, they call it a bucket. Strange use of language, I understand. Anyways, I was actively losing blood flow. Robbie was in the other room. I was like, I have got to get this over with. I stood up. It felt like I wasn't done. It felt like I can only imagine what a 2-year-old feels like. They're just becoming sentient. They shit their pants, and there's still something funny in there. Okay. I keep, I wiped. It's very easy to wipe because it was on the outside. Okay, wow, this got clean, easy. What's going on? Take to Google. Anal prolapse. Mild, of the mild sort. Okay, what? Okay, I make sure that what's going on matches Wikipedia, Google Images. I take a look in the mirror. My neck is fully behind me, a la rubber duck exorcism. Cheeks are spread. I'm taking a look. It looks something like a cruller donut. Do you guys know the Hostess cruller? Underrated in my opinion. Number 1, powdered donuts. Number 2, the cruller. It has like a ridged outside, like you can imagine, brown in color, just like mine. The cruller is covered with brown sugar. There was no granulation on my asshole, to be clear. I do not have some kind of an anal venereal disease. And no shade. You guys know how I feel about STDs. I don't know how I got through my life without one. And I wish I could experience it, because overall I just want to relate to people. And now it's like one penicillin shot away. What's the deterrent? There's really none. One big pill of Azithro, you're back out there. There's really no downtime. And thank God for that, because obviously women aren't giving them to each other, you know? I don't even have to worry about an STD around here. I've had my fair share of yeasters. One pop of the diflucan, one pussy pill of the monostat. We're good. You got to catch it early, though. Okay, so I'm diagnosing myself. I'm figuring out what is going on in real time. Is my turned out cute little button going to go back to its home at any point in the future, hopefully soon? Where do I go from here? I was in my cargo pants. I go see Robbie in the bedroom. I sit down on the bed, and it's not my sits bones hitting the bed. It's my asshole. Okay, this is uncomfortable. It wasn't painful. And I was like, okay, well, I got to tell Robbie. And the part that should have felt shame, that should have been so embarrassed, was excited. There was something wrong here. I had butterflies in my stomach, not because I didn't know what she was going to think. This is the most embarrassing thing to ever happen. No, because I wanted to tell her. It felt powerful. It felt like, oof, I have a story to tell. It felt like, you know what? If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. Maybe she's been in the same position. No, she hadn't. I let her know, my butthole is sticking out. It won't go back in. She didn't miss a beat, and she said, do you want me to push it? Do you want me to push it back in? No, but thank you. No, but if you got a response, anything less than that, you have to get yourself a new partner. She was ready to glove up and go to surgery. And I actually don't know if it would have helped. I don't think so. Within time it did, but I didn't know. I didn't know how much time was needed. I was picturing myself face down, ass up in the gurney of an emergency room with a certified doctor who had spent 8 to 12 years in med school, fully in debt, doing some kind of intense procedure, stitching up my butt. That's where I went. How am I going to hold this position for as long as he needs? I hope I have a nice arch in my back. I hope it's the blue gown, not the green, because the blue is definitely my color. I hope we're not there all night, and I hope I get some laughing gas. I hope I get gas down, baby. Take me there. Call the ambulance, call the emergency. I'll pay extra for this. I would ask for some lidocaine, but I know that'd burn. So I better go with the propofol. Kidding. Hello, it's a joke. Don't even. But it was Michael Jackson's doctor's fault. He was being really reckless with it. So it's like, I know some of you guys, you don't have to admit it to yourself or anybody else, but I know some of you out there are having butthole problems. You got an itchy booty. It itches and scratches down there. You just feel a little pressure. That's a hemorrhoid. Say it with me. I have hemorrhoids. Say it loud and proud. I have a dilated blood vessel in my asshole and I have hemorrhoids. And that's okay. There's a couple different options. You can go the preparation H route. They can cauterize it. If you're ever down there, you need something. I heard it hurts. Achie. You feel a little split down there. You bleed a little when you wipe. You have a fissure. Say it with me now. I have an anal fissure. I am here today. My name's Maggie, and I have an anal fissure. Don't we all? Don't we all at one point or another have an anal fucking fissure? So that was my dose of relatability. All right, I'll end it with some literature that I'm reading. You guys know I'm in my era of 1950s depressed, oppressed women who kill themselves and become iconically famous afterwards. You had to stick your head in the oven to get any kind of recognition. This woman, Susan Taubes, had to walk into the East Hampton Ocean for any kind of recognition, for any kind of fame. And that's my Leo moon getting ideas. Thank God for Lamictal and gabapentin. If only they could keep creating these pieces of insane artwork. Imagine the plethora of things we would have to read. This is my favorite genre. I met someone at the Hamptons wedding that we went to, like, I don't know, a month or so ago. And it was mostly Robbie's friend. So it's like always nice to kind of like have a drunk kiki with a stranger. And you're like, oh my God, are we soul sisters? Are we meant to be? We were both at the bar getting drinks. I was on white wine at this point. You know, I think she was too. We'll make it too. She was like, I have to tell you, I thought she was going to compliment my dress. I have to tell you, you pulled an iconic move by having the first ciggy of the reception. Of course, I was bawling like a baby during the wedding. I love. I'm with Robbie, envisioning our future. Could this be us one day? And I don't know anyone there. And there were skinny ciggies staring me in the face. So I was like, can I have one? Sat down, had one. And then 2 or 3 or 4, 500. And then I find out she's a writer. She actually, if you're listening, I got your book. I cannot wait to read it. It has a great cover. And she's been recommending me these really great depressed novels. So this woman, Susan Taubes, she's from Budapest, but her and her dad moved to the States. So can I get a mommy issues? Can I get a hell yeah for mommy issues? So I'm sure she has some mommy issues, and she's really smart. She had like a PhD. She was also married to some kind of like philosopher. She's just a genius, and she unfortunately had to kill herself after her like publication of, I think, her first novel. Oh, it must have been her second if she made this before she died. I don't know. But this was also, I think it was like they found the book that I'm reading, like it was just republished in 2023, just put in print. Anyway, she got terrible reviews, so she's like, I'm done here. I don't blame her. The criticism is just too fucking much. So, but then they found this piece of art, which is called Lament for Julia. That's I'm so Julia. I'm so Sylvia. The author's a Capricorn. Hello, our people. And she did die on my sister's birthday, which I don't know what that means. I hope nothing bad. But this book is called Lament for Julia. If you guys like Sylvia Plath, you have to read it. It's so good. The way she writes is just so succinct and readable, and it's funny as hell, and it's like such an amazing concept, which is like she's writing from the POV of like a ghost of the main character. The POV ghost doesn't even know what he is. He's really like unidentifiable. He's like sometimes he's a conscience, sometimes he's like an ego. He kind of reminds me. Sometimes he's like a ghost, but like always watching her and kind of moving through life with Julia. It feels like it's like her depressed inner monologue. Like, you know, when you have bad self-talk, you just fucking hate yourself. Me, always. Like, the ghost is kind of like, he'll shit on her, but sometimes he's like kind of proud of her. So he switches. He can't really decide. We're always at odds with ourselves. And then sometimes the POV will change. Like, he'll go from kind of the out of body ego, but sometimes we leave Julia's body there, and then he embodies like her and what she's supposed to be doing, and it'll flip back and forth. It's like you really have to pay attention, and it's very like she goes off in tangents. It's like really unpredictable. I'm like, ugh, this is so me. And she's funny. It's just like, honestly, at first I was like, it took me, maybe I read on a Kindle, so it maybe took me like 10% to get into, you know, one of those. I'm like, I don't know if this is reading, but then I was like, is she being funny? Because she like was describing this guy, and she's like, his width was more than his height. And I was like, is she being funny? And then as like the book goes on, you get to know her more. And she was like describing her now husband. And she was literally like, his frontal lobe cannot activate until he takes a dump in the morning. I'm like, okay. It came out of nowhere. You never know where she's going to go. It just surprises you. And I'm like, okay, this is so me. But yeah, no, I was looking at some reviews of it, and it's like, you know, when some people like whatever write articles, and they're like trying to sound smart, but it's like they cannot get their point across. It's like, okay, this is word salad, and you're just like signaling your intelligence. We get it. You have a byline. We all believe you. Please tone it down. Okay, so some of them were like this, but a couple a couple lines that I liked was this New Yorker article. It says her suicide on the publication of her first novel. I guess it's technically her first novel because the second one was just published after she was dead. And this is the part I love. Let me start from the beginning. Her suicide on the publication of her first novel made her an icon of doomed femininity. Right in the gut. I want to be an icon of doomed femininity. Please put it in my bio. Please put it on my headstone. Please stamp it on my tramp. Let's see. There was one other part I like. I don't know. I can't find it. She has this one phrase that I don't know why I liked, but I did highlight it. It's like, you guys know when you use Kindles and you highlight in the Kindle, where the fuck are those highlights going? This is all in vain. I'm like, share. I press the share button, and it's like Wikipedia. I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to share it to Wikipedia. How do I Bluetooth airdrop it to my notes app so I can like save these quotes? If you guys work for Amazon on Kindle, you can take my idea, but only if I get a fucking kickback. You'll be hearing from me. One of the things I highlighted, Sister of Sodden Earth. So Pam Anderson, she's really in her garden these days. Me, not so much. But I liked it. Sister of Sodden Earth. I just picture someone rubbing mud all over the body. I could do that in like a spa, like. But if you guys like that sort of stuff, I highly recommend. I like to read it after smoking a gorgeously rolled spliff of Blue Lotus, lavender, and indica. It really helps keep me present, get me in there. But I do have to reread the pages multiple times. It could just be an excuse to get high. Not that I need one, but I'll take anyone. Okay, on that note, thanks for coming back time and time again for long Wandered.